Let me show you the power of distraction. What distraction can do to you, regardless of who you are in God. You can have the life of God. You can have the authority of Jesus. You can have the presence of God. If you are distracted, you will go nowhere. Every gift and talent is useless in the face of distraction. Some of the most gifted men on earth are the ones who amounted to nothing because they were distracted. It's a dangerous thing to allow your soul to be infested with distraction. Look at the dangers of distraction. Number one, distraction will cause you to lose your destiny. Many have lost their God-given destinies because of distraction. Judges 16 verse 20. One of the greatest men that walked on this earth is called Samson. He was distracted on the lap of a harlot, and his hair was cut off, his strength was depleted, and his eyes were plucked out, and ultimately he lost his destiny. If you allow distraction into your life, you are on a journey of losing out completely on your destiny. If you study Genesis chapter 19 verse 26, you see another person who should have had a great destiny who lost it. The wife of Lot. The instruction was, leave the city and don't look back. Whatever it was that couldn't allow her focus on her journey and made her turn back was the reason she became a pillar of salt. The problem was not Sodom. The problem was violation of instruction. Because the same Sodom that the wife of Lot should not look at, Abraham was looking at it. But Abraham did not receive a command not to look at Sodom. Lot and his family were the ones commanded not to look at Sodom. So the problem was not looking at Sodom. The problem is, what was your instruction? The instruction is, don't look back to the city. Perhaps she had jewelries that she forgot. Perhaps as she was following the will of God, she remembered the pleasures of Sodom, and she told herself, does it mean I will no longer enjoy this pleasure? And one more time became too expensive for her destiny. She only turned once, and she never had the opportunity to recover. See, there are many turns that most of us have made in life that has robbed us of 20 years of our lives. If we are honest, we can tell ourselves, it was in 1994 that I turned back, and since that time it was never the same again. There are many great men. What was their problem? They went to look upon a harlot, and somebody saw them, and that one day of distraction robbed a great destiny that should have shook the whole world. It is a dangerous thing to allow distraction into your life. If you allow it, it will rob you of your destiny. Number two, distraction will make you lose your gifts and your inheritances. 1 Kings 20 verse 39 to 40. The prophet told a parable. He went to the king and told him, my lord, as I was in battle, a man walked up to me and gave me a servant to keep. He said, but as I was busy here and there, I lost him. And the king told him, you have judged yourself. Your life will be taken in exchange of that which you have lost. There are people today that few years ago, they were prophetic. If they looked at you and told you, tomorrow a door will open, whether you believe it or not, the door will open. If they looked at you and said, don't go here, and you will prosper. If you go, even if they carried your name to a shrine, you will still prosper. But 5 years later, they have lost it. Precious things are lost by distraction. When Satan shoots distraction in your life, he's either attacking your destiny or he's attacking the things God has committed to you. I know somebody who used to have a very sharp cutting edge utterance. When he's talking, everybody keeps quiet. You must listen. And if you listen, your heart will burn. Few years down the line, he started befriending ladies. When you talk, you say, what do you mean? We are brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. 4 sisters are cooking every day for you. Brothers and sisters hugging, and you know this is lost at work. But we are brothers and sisters. Give yourself a holy kiss. He gave himself holy kiss until he cast himself out of holiness. And today, nobody listens. Have you not gone on the internet before? You see somebody who has 4 million followers, and he puts a message online, you see 30 views. Once upon a time, the nations listened to him, but he has lost what was inside him that made the nation to listen. So the page still has 4 million followers who don't care what he's saying. And so he has lost the power to address the nations. Because distraction can rob you of what God has given you. Not because God will take it back, but because your soul cannot ascend to the realm where you operate that gift anymore. Because everything of the spirit is at a height. It's when your soul ascends that you touch it. But when you become distracted, it becomes difficult to climb up and function from Zion. Number 3, danger of distraction is that distraction opens the door to sin. 2 Samuel chapter 11 verse 1 to 2. The Bible said, in the days that king went to war, David sat at his balcony wandering around, and he looked upon a naked woman. That was when the crisis and calamity of his family began from. If he had gone to war, if he was not on the balcony looking around, he wouldn't have ended up in immorality. You look at yourself every evening, you say, let's go and sit on that street. That same street where there is a beer parlor. That same street where harlots are moving on the streets. That same street where they are playing every worldly song. That's where you want to take fresh air. A point will come, you will say, let's look at what is even happening inside there. And then you will go to look at, they will carry you out in the coffin. No sin begins as sin. Every sin started on a slippery slope that men foolishly stood on, and they realized they couldn't stand, and they were drawn into it. Number 4, danger of distraction is that distraction makes you to lose opportunities and divine visitation. Oh, when I studied about the man at the pool of Bethesda, I wept. So what could be addressed in one day, somebody can look for it for 38 years. That means time is not the issue. It is you missing Kairos moments that is the issue. That thing that man suffered for 38 years, he had no business suffering for 38 years. But you know what his problem was? When the water is stirred, he could not enter. Do you notice that even when Jesus came to him, he almost missed that opportunity? Jesus asked him, son, will thou be made whole? What is the answer? Yes, Lord. He entered stories. He started talking. I have no man. When the water is stirred, there's nobody to carry me. Somebody enters before I enter. And he was talking. Jesus had to shut him off. So you discover the man did not miss the water because there was nobody. He missed the water because he was distracted. He couldn't discern the moment of visitation. And if you miss your visitation, your life ends up in calamity. In Luke 19:44, the Bible said Jesus wept over the city. And what was his cry? He said, you do not know the time of your visitation. There are many people who are looking at me here that have had more opportunities than the greatest men in this country. Abraham Lincoln said, I will study and wait. He said, the opportunity will come. You give yourself to distraction. I know a young man those days in the university, sir. Even when we are writing exam, this guy will play PST money, Pro Evolution Soccer, and then he will come to class and be looking for who to copy from. This was a very intelligent young man. In fact, his father was a senior director somewhere. He would have given him a job with ease. But the guy wasted his opportune moments on top of video game. And then you ask many naive young people, they say, is it a sin? No, it's not a sin. But when you continue, after a while, you will serve your genius. Because you will pay for your distraction. You know, the way life works is that we live in cycles. Some of us, our cycles are 3 years, some is 5 years, some is 7 years, some is 10 years. Satan does not come every time. He waits for your kairos moment. So you can be fasting 40 days fast every three months. You are doing it. One year passes, 2 years pass. When you come into the 5th year, that is your year of visitation, then Satan begins to plot traps. Suddenly you go to work, they show you a juicy opportunity and say all you need to do is to add 2 zeros and we will share the money. Suddenly somebody calls you and you check which number is this, and they say it's Victor. Have you forgotten me? Where were you 4 years ago? That is where one Linda will call you from nowhere and say, I'm in town. Is this the first time you are coming to town? And then one moment of distraction will waste the 4 years of preparation. And then your life becomes an abomination. A point will come, even you will be tired of living. Because life will become a plague. Not because God does not love you. Not because God does not care. But because you have lost too many opportunities. And so a point comes, even you give up on life. Ask those you see making impact. They will tell you they were not the best. If they are honest, they will always tell you a friend that was more gifted. They will always tell you a friend that was more anointed. They will always tell you a colleague that was more intelligent. But why did they come? They remain focused. Many times I fear for gifted people. They are always never stable. And then you check after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, the people you call average, they end up emerging as leaders. You know why? They know that they don't have too much advantage. So they maximize their life. The ones who think, come on, they know everything. They waste their lives and life becomes a redo. They sit down, they see the people they taught. They see the people they imparted. They see the people they raised. All of a sudden they are in front and they are wondering, how did I end here? One of the reasons is that you lost opportunities. When those windows open, may God grant you grace to discern it.